For decades, men's intimate grooming was either a punchline or a taboo. Brands tiptoed around the subject with awkward euphemisms, men were left with generic tools not designed for sensitive areas, and discussing below-the-waist grooming was simply not done in polite company. Most companies trying to enter this space failed to gain traction or were quickly relegated to niche markets. Fast forward to today, and Manscaped is a billion-dollar grooming empire. Their products are endorsed by celebrities, professional sports leagues, and discussed openly by millions of men worldwide. How did a startup founded in a garage transform intimate male grooming from embarrassing to aspirational, and what can every brand learn from this remarkable marketing revolution? To understand Manscaped's meteoric rise, we need to go back to where it all began. The year is 2016, Instagram influencer marketing is booming, direct-to-consumer brands are disrupting traditional retail, and in San Diego, California, father-son duo Steve and Josh King identify a massive gap in the men's grooming market. Their insight was simple but powerful. Millions of men were grooming their body hair, particularly below the waist, but were using tools designed for their face or head. The Kings launched with a single trimmer called the Lawn Mower, specifically designed for sensitive areas and a vision to destigmatize male grooming through humor and straight talk. Little did they know they had just planted the seeds for what would become one of the most disruptive brands in personal care history. What Manscaped did next defied all conventional wisdom about marketing intimate products. They decided to confront the taboo head-on with an approach that was refreshingly direct, genuinely funny, and unexpectedly sophisticated. By 2018, just 2 years after launch, Manscaped had built a cult following and secured a deal on Shark Tank with Lori Greiner and Mark Cuban investing $500,000 for a 25% stake of the company. The reasons behind this early traction were as strategic as they were subversive. Number 1, humor that acknowledged the awkwardness without being crude. Number 2, premium positioning that elevated grooming from necessity to self-care. Number 3, educational content that addressed real concerns men had but wouldn't ask. And number 4, innovative product design specifically for sensitive areas. And here comes our first marketing lesson. Address unspoken customer pain points directly. Create demand by solving problems people are embarrassed to discuss. Brand strategist Marcus Collins explains why Manscaped's approach was revolutionary. Manscaped didn't just sell trimmers, they sold permission. Permission for men to care about their grooming, to discuss it openly, and to see it as part of modern masculinity rather than counter to it. The company expanded rapidly, launching complementary products like body wash, deodorant, and skincare. By 2019, Manscaped was being discussed openly on podcasts, YouTube channels, and in locker rooms across America. But the real breakthrough was still to come. Unlike traditional CPG brands that relied on retail distribution and TV advertising, Manscaped built their empire through digital channels that allowed for more authentic messaging. The company invested heavily in podcasting, advertising, and YouTube sponsorships, platforms where hosts could speak more directly and authentically about intimate products in ways traditional media just couldn't. The strategy was multi-layered and sophisticated. Podcast hosts gave personal testimonials about products, YouTube creators demonstrated the products, social media campaigns encouraged user-generated content, and targeted digital ads reached men in private browsing moments. By 2020, Manscaped was sponsoring over 500 podcasts, dominating male-focused YouTube channels, and becoming one of the most recognizable direct-to-consumer brands among millennial and Gen Z men. Marketing lesson number 2. Choose channels where your message can be authentic, not just where your audience exists. Digital marketing expert Scott Galloway explains the brilliance of this approach. Manscaped recognized that in intimate categories, the medium is as important as the message. They found spaces where men were already having candid conversations and became part of that dialogue rather than interrupting it. But to truly go mainstream, Manscaped needed to overcome the final barrier, making male grooming not just acceptable, but aspirational. In 2019, Manscaped made a bold move that would transform the brand from internet phenomenon to household name. They began partnering with professional sports organizations. Marketing lesson number 3. Use strategic partnerships to transfer cultural authority to your brand. The partnerships came fast and furious. UFC, San Francisco 49ers, the LA Kings, the Sydney Sharks, and eventually partnerships with Formula One, each one bringing Manscaped into mainstream consciousness and associating the brand with peak male performance. These weren't just logo placements. Manscaped crafted clever, often hilarious integrations that fit naturally with sports commentary, using terms like precision engineering, performance tools, and confidence in high-pressure situations. The strategy fundamentally reframed male grooming from something embarrassing to something that elite athletes and winners embraced as part of their routine. We stopped positioning grooming as something men should do out of obligation or to avoid embarrassment. Instead, we framed it as something confident, successful men choose to do for themselves. This authentic approach to branding set the stage for unprecedented growth. With brand awareness soaring, Manscaped executed another strategic pivot, expanding from a single product company to a complete male grooming ecosystem. This expansion followed a carefully orchestrated strategy. Starting with the lawnmower trimmer, they added complementary products like body wash and deodorant, then expanded to above-the-waist grooming tools, then launched skincare and cologne lines, and finally created subscription boxes for reoccurring revenue. Each new product maintained the brand's signature combination of premium quality, clever naming, and sophisticated packaging that men weren't embarrassed to display in their bathrooms. Think about this achievement. Manscaped created an entirely new category of consumer products that men not only purchase, but proudly discuss and recommended to friends. And here comes marketing lesson number 4. Build an ecosystem, not just a product line. Consumer behavior expert Jonah Berger explains why this approach worked. Manscaped didn't just sell grooming tools. They created a comprehensive self-care ritual for men who previously had no permission to care about such things. Each product reinforced the others, creating a flywheel effect of adoption. With a dedicated following in the United States of America, Manscaped set its sights on international markets and traditional retail channels. The company launched in the UK, Australia, and Canada, adapting their humor to local sensibilities while maintaining their core brand identity. Simultaneously, Manscaped began appearing in traditional retail environments like Target, Best Buy, and eventually Walmart, bringing their previously online-only products to mainstream shopping environments. The results were nothing short of spectacular. In 2020, Manscaped reported over $100 million in revenue. By 2021, that revenue was at $285 million. In 2022, they announced an SPAC merger, valuing the company at $1 billion. Their market presence, well, they were available in over 30 countries, and they had massive retail expansion, products in over 30,000 retail locations globally. For context, this growth happened while traditional CPG companies were struggling to connect with younger male consumers. In 2021, Manscaped announced plans to go public through an SPAC merger that valued the company at approximately $1 billion, a remarkable achievement for a brand dealing with a subject that was too taboo to talk about just 5 years earlier. And here's our final marketing lesson of the day: cultural change creates market opportunity. While many brands wait for markets to emerge, Manscaped actively created their market by changing cultural norms around masculine grooming. So what can we learn from Manscaped's extraordinary journey from garage startup to billion-dollar grooming empire? And let me break it down into 5 actionable lessons you can apply to your own brand. First off, destigmatize through humor. Manscaped used clever comedy to normalize conversations around a previously taboo subject. What uncomfortable aspects of your product or service could be addressed through well-crafted humor? Number 2, choose channels that fit your message. Manscaped leveraged podcasts and YouTube where authentic, direct conversation was possible. Where can your brand message be delivered most authentically? Number 3, use aspirational associations. Sports partnerships elevate grooming from embarrassing necessity to part of peak performance. What associations could elevate your brand's perception? Number 4, build an ecosystem, not just products. Each Manscaped product reinforced the others, creating multiple purchase opportunities. How could your offerings create a more complete customer experience? Number 5, lead cultural conversations. Manscaped didn't just respond to trends, they actively shaped new norms around masculine self-care. What cultural shift could your brand help pioneer? The lesson from Manscaped isn't just about selling grooming products. It's about identifying cultural shifts before they happen, having the courage to address taboo subjects, and understanding that sometimes the biggest marketing opportunities exist in spaces where no one is comfortable talking. We didn't just create better tools for male grooming, we created a new cultural conversation around what it means to be a well-groomed man in the 21st century. Paul Tran, CEO of Manscaped. So the next time you hear a Manscaped ad on your favorite podcast or see their logo at a UFC match, remember, you're not just seeing a grooming brand, you're witnessing a company that transformed an entire category by giving men permission to care about something they were previously embarrassed to discuss. Now, if you found value in this breakdown of Manscaped's marketing transformation, hit that like button and subscribe to the Philosophy of Marketing. In the comment section, let me know what brand would you like me to analyze next. And until then, remember, great marketing doesn't just sell products, sometimes it changes culture itself.